Adobe Photoshop. Alright, so what you see right now on the screen, awesome people, is the finished effect, and this is my raw file. So you're going to be starting off with this and you're going to convert this image into this. So you can see how I'm changing the entire mood of the image by doing some color correction, and this can be used a lot in high-end photo manipulations. Alright, so getting started, awesome people, I'm going to be using a very advanced color selection tool of Adobe Photoshop known as color range. So the way this tool works, awesome people, is it selects the same kind of color in your image. So the main way I'm going to be using this is by I'm going to select all the different colors, and then you're going to be piling up all the different adjustment layers for getting that look. Now this is something that cannot be achieved by just doing hue and saturation and just changing the sliders here and there. This is something that's going to take a little time. It's going to take 10 to 15 minutes, but the end result is definitely worth it. So let's get started. So I have gone to select, I've taken color range, and I'm going to click somewhere over here to select a base selection. So I'm going to click over here, and you can see how everything gets selected over here. So anyone over here, awesome people, who is new to color range, just remember one thing: black not selected, white selected. So white selected, black not selected, black not selected, white selected. Simple as that. Nothing else to worry about. You don't have to play around with all these settings. This is something that honestly I have never ever used. There are different ways of selecting skin tones, of hairs and stuff. So honestly, if you're working with something like this where you have to work with loose selections meaning you don't have to work with precise selections. If you're working with something like that, color range is the best option that you have. Believe me, I have practiced Photoshop a little bit. Alright, so I'm going to take my eyedrop, I'm going to click somewhere to get my base selection, something like that, and then what I'm going to do, awesome people, is I'm going to hold on the shift key for adding to the selection. So this works a lot similar to the polygonal lasso, or to the rectangle, or to the elliptical marquee tool. I'm going to hold on my shift key, I'm going to click somewhere over here to get more of my selection. Now what I'm trying to do, awesome people, is I'm not trying to select everything in one go, because if you do that, your themes and your color hues will not match, and the whole image is going to look fake. The thing that we're trying to achieve with this is photorealism. We don't want this to look Photoshop, we want this to look something that was captured by a camera. So just remember that, and you're going to click this, and there we go. I'm going to click OK to make a selection, and there we go, awesome people, we have gotten a loose selection. So I'm going to, without deselecting anything, I'm going to come to my adjustments dialog box or drop down menu. I'm going to click on hue and saturation, and now I don't want to do something very drastic. I just want to take this to -15 or to somewhere around -10, or actually -8 would do 2. I'm going to go to saturation, I'm going to bump this up to 2. I'm going to take the lightness, I'm going to take this down to -2. There we go, or say -1 would, or actually just 0 is fine. And actually I'm going to take it down to -2. And there you go, we have added like a base selection, and we are kind of getting closer to where what the image or what the effect that we are looking for. Next, awesome people, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for select color range one more time, and this time I'm going to go for the box on these main trunks in the image. So basically what I'm trying to do right now, awesome people, is I'm trying to select all of this so that we can give it a little bit of red tint. What happens is, awesome people, if you have a lot of red around you, it's just a matter of common sense that everything around you is going to have like a slight reddish tint, and believe me, it's going to be very subtle, but it definitely adds to the entire image. Now I want to talk to you guys about fuzziness. So what is fuzziness? Now fuzziness, awesome people, is basically like a setting which tells Photoshop how strict you want your selections to be. So say, awesome people, if I was to click over here, it's gonna say, okay, you know what, the thing that I clicked on, my sample color, you have to be very strict with it. If I increase the fuzziness, it's only like, okay, you know what, the hues and the color range is the same thing, you can select the other thing as well. So if you reduce this down to -30 or say 30, this is going to give you a very strict selection, and if you take it up, it's going to give you a more loose selection. Now in this case, I don't want to work with 127, I just want to work with 50, and 50 is fine. I'm going to click on these box, and you can see how everything just gets selected instantly. So that's good. And again, white selected, black not selected. So you can see how pretty much all the main trunks of the trees are getting selected, and even a few barks over here, these branches. That's really nice. Click OK and give it a little time, and there you go, we have gotten ourselves a good selection made. I'm gonna go over here, take hue and saturation one more time, take this down to say somewhere around -10. I'm gonna take this to +5, I'm gonna bring this down just a little bit to say somewhere around 5. Minus 5. And there we go. You can see how subtle that changes, but it definitely adds to the final composite. Believe me, this thing is gonna help. Okay, so we have gotten 2 layers done. Now what we can do, awesome people, is we're gonna go to our main image one more time. I'm gonna go to select, color range, and this time, awesome people, we want to basically select the core region of our image, because you can see, like, as soon as you see the image, the first thing that you see is this part right here, this circular-ish elliptical part. That's the main focal point, and it still has that greenish tint to it, so you're gonna change this a lot, and I want to bring down my fuzziness so we can be targeting some very specific colors. I'm gonna take this to 30. I think the default fuzziness, awesome people, is set to somewhere around 40. I think like if you're using this for the first time, I think the default is gonna be somewhere around 40. And once that is done, click OK. There you go. Hue and saturation one more time. The reason why I like to work with hue and saturation is because it gives you like a very nice effect in a very nice way. And take down the saturation up a little, and there you go. Now just to complete the whole effect, we are missing out a lot of detail on these grass, so I'm gonna complete this one last time. Color range, click on the grass, take the fuzziness up a little bit, and just basically do shift clicks to get that grass proper. There we go. Okay, and this time, awesome people, instead of taking hue and saturation, I'm gonna go for color balance. So I'm gonna add a little bit of orange tint. Now we don't want to change the whole thing to red, because again, we are not going for a mystical fantasy kind of feel. We're gonna go for a realism feel. So this is something that can be captured by a camera if it was the right time. This was not the right time, therefore we were not able to get the autumish kind of look. But then again, with this, I think it looks perfect. Now again, awesome people, for the sake of the tutorial, I'm gonna keep the video short, but that was my main technique on how I selected the whole grass and all the greenery and all the leaves and stuff, and I was able to create my effect right here. Now of course you can go and once you have done all of this, and once you are satisfied with what you have done, you can add like a final layer without doing any sort of selection. Just go to color balance and just add like a little bit of red, and just basically do a little bit of changes. Now of course, awesome people, these settings are gonna differ depending on what kind of image you have, but there you go. Now of course, for adding a little more feel and to just make the image a little bit better, we can add a vignette, but that would take away the photorealism. But I'm gonna do it anyway for the sake of the tutorial. Make like a square boxish kind of thing, something like this, so you can keep the rule of thirds a little bit, not exactly the rule of thirds thing, but okay. And then I'm gonna go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, take this too, somewhere around there, and there you go. This is kind of like a nice frame-ish effect, and that is what you can do with Adobe Photoshop, and that's how you can do some good advanced photo manipulations, or I mean color manipulations in Adobe Photoshop. My name is CJ Style. Thank you so much for watching my video, everyone. Please subscribe, like this video on YouTube. This is my new channel, Zen Gen Learning. I hope you're liking the tutorials. I hope you're liking the editing, the music, the lower thirds and everything. I appreciate the support. Please like this video, subscribe, and new tutorials coming every weekend. Take care, everyone. Thank you for watching. Peace out.